You are interested in too many things. You want to learn design, coding, videography, photography, or maybe start a business or writing your own book. And that language you've been trying to study for 2 years. And every single one of them feels real. It doesn't feel distraction. It feels like you. But here is the problem. Every time you try to pick just one, something inside you resists. Because choosing one feels like giving up all the others. And so you end up doing something worse than choosing one. You choose nothing. I know this feeling, not because I read about it, but because I lived it. I had ADHD with too many interests. Before starting my business that changed my life, I was a banker. I was sitting every day in one place, doing one thing, and wondering why I felt like I'm slowly disappearing. Everyone around me told me, just pick one and stick to it, and you will be fine. But I couldn't do it, so I quit. And that decision was the best decision I ever made in my life. This video is what I really wish someone told me back then. A real strategy for the people with ADHD with too many interests. Because back then, I didn't understand myself. I used to think something wrong with me. Everyone around me was a specialist in something. I thought that I have a problem because I was switching between interests and didn't feel satisfied with my position. Even I had stable income, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied with that. I felt like I'm a robot doing one thing in one place every day again and again and do it for 40 years and retire. It doesn't make sense to me. You already know that having multiple interests is not a weakness. You know your curiosity is valuable. You know that you can connect ideas that a specialist can do it. You know that your brain built differently. But knowing about this is not enough. Because every day you still wake up and don't know which interest you touch first. So you start switching. A little of this, a little of that. Weeks pass, months pass, and nothing has really moved. Nothing has really improved. And you see no real progress. That's not a passion problem. That's a strategy problem. And the strategy problem has 2 layers. The first layer is practical. How do you organize multiple interests so they actually go somewhere? The second layer is psychological. Why does your brain make it so hard to stay focused even when you genuinely want to? And if you have ADHD, both layers hit harder because your brain is not just interested in many things. It's chemically wired to chase the new and abandon the familiar. So let's solve both, starting with the psychology. Because if you don't understand what's happening in your head, no system will ever stick. What ADHD actually do? Let me tell you what was happening in my brain when I was a banker. Every morning I would sit down, do the same tasks, follow the same process. I felt nothing, not sad, not tired, just empty. Like my brain was running on no fuel. But then I would come home and spend 4 to 5 hours learning animation, designing, editing, and doing things nobody asked me to do. And I felt completely alive doing this. I didn't understand why back then, but now I do. The ADHD brains has lower level of dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical that makes things feel rewarding and worth doing. Most people get steady flow of dopamine from routine tasks. They can sit down, work, doing the same thing and feel okay. But the ADHD brain need more stimulation to feel the same reward. That's why routine feel painful, feel boring and suffocating for the ADHD brains. But when something new, exciting and interesting, the dopamine floats in. You can hyper-focus for hours. You forgot to eat, you forgot to sleep. You are completely locked in. This is why I could spend an entire night learning a new skill and 2 weeks later, when it stopped being new, I couldn't make myself open it again. And this is not a weakness, this is your brain chemistry. And here's what actually changed everything for me. I stopped trying to fix this about myself. I stopped trying to become someone who can sit still and specialize in just one thing. And I started asking a different question. What if I build my life around how my brain actually works? That question alone led me out of my banking career. It led me to build a business using every one of my interests. Animation, designing, editing, psychology, all of it together. The goal is not to become someone who only cares about one thing. The goal is to build a system that uses your natural way of thinking and still make you move forward. There is a difference between scattered and strategic. Scattered is doing many things randomly with no direction, but strategic is doing many things with the right order with clear purpose behind each one. And here's the system that actually works with me. The 3-group system. Take a piece of paper and write down every interest you have and every skill you want to build. Everything. Don't filter. Now sort them into 3 groups. Group number 1, the anchor. This is the one interest that can make you money in the next 1 to 2 years. It's not necessarily your biggest passion. Let's say it's the one with the more realistic path to income. Something you are already somewhat good at. Something people actually pay for. For me, it was animation. I was good at making animation video for kids. So that's my anchor. That's the thing that made me quit my banking career and never look back. And this group get 80% of your focused energy for the next 6 to 12 months. Group number 2, the soul fuel. These are the interests that make you feel alive. The ones you do purely because you love them. Protect them, schedule them, and don't force them to become a career or to make money. Because the moment you force a passion to perform, it stops being a passion. Some interests meant to stay yours, just let them. Group number 3, the shelf. Everything else go to the shelf. Not because you're giving up on them, but it's just not for now. These interests are waiting for you. They're not going anywhere. The moment your anchor is stable, you have income, you have time, you can turn back to them one by one. You are respecting them enough to give each one of them your full interest when the right time comes. The multipassionate people who build something real, they didn't do everything at once. They built everything in sequence. This thing, then the next, and one day it all worked together. This is what happened to me. I dedicate 3 months, full focus, going all in into one skill. I give it all my focus and energy to master it, then move to the next one. It doesn't need to be perfect. Perfection kills everything. But in that specific time of learning, you will face the most uncomfortable reality. The boring middle. How to keep your brain engaged during the boring middle. What to do when your anchor skill stops feeling exciting, because it will. Every skill has a middle period when it's not excited anymore and not mastered yet. Just slow, boring, hard, and unglamorous period. This is where the most multi-passionate people quit. And for ADHD brain, this is the period where the dopamine disappears and your brain starts screaming for something new. I went through this too. There were weeks animation felt boring, slow, and felt like a show. And at some point, I wanted to drop everything and start something new. I went through this. I know this because I lived it. But instead of dropping everything, here's what I actually did. And you can do it too. Add novelty inside the skill, not outside it. Find a new angle inside the thing you're building. If you learn editing, try a different style for 1 week. If you learn marketing, for example, try a new strategy that you never used before. So you feed your brain need for new without abandoning your progress. That's the first. Now, second, make your progress visible. The ADHD brain struggles to feel progress because progress is often invisible day to day. So you need to make it visible. Checklist, note, or maybe journal even 1 line every day you show up. Your brain needs to see movement. Otherwise, it feels like nothing happening, even if everything is happening. You need to make it visible for your brain to keep going. Third, give yourself a guilt-free exploration time. Maybe 1 hour or 2 hours a week to explore everything on your shelf. No pressure, no goal, just curiosity. So your brain knows that the door is not locked. It's just not open right now. The moment your interests start working together, here's something beautiful that happens when you follow this system long enough. Your interests and skills start connecting. For me, the psychology knowledge made my content deeper. The animation skills made my automation channels possible. The design background made my brand stronger. The business understanding made everything sustainable. Skills I had learned years apart suddenly talking to each other, building something no specialist could have built, because specialists go deep in one direction. I went deep in many, and then I became the bridge to all of them. I built an entire business by myself. Everything I needed, I can do it by myself. It's a full teamwork because I had spent years building each skill one at a time until they were all ready to work together. That combination is where it's valuable. No one can replicate it because it was built by my exact life, my exact path, my exact curiosity, and yours will be built from yours too. And this is not a distraction. This is actually the most valuable thing you can become. But it only happens when you start building in order, not trying to make everything at once. In my past corporate job, I used to sit in my office thinking that something wrong with me. Too many interests, can't focus, feel empty, and people around me telling me you are too much. But nothing was wrong with me. I just didn't have the right system to manage all that energy. And the day I stopped trying to fix my brain and started working with my brain, everything changed. I quit my banking career. I built my business. I connected all my interests and skills to manage that business. I made money. I became financially free at 31, and I retired my parents, which is the most important thing I did in my life. And finally, I got my freedom as a woman, because women with no money have no power. And I made it with ADHD and a lot of interests and all the chaos and curiosity that people around me told me it was my weakness, but it wasn't, and yours isn't either. Write down your interests, sort them into 3 groups, pick your anchor, and give it your real energy for the next 6 to 12 months. Protect your soul fuel and let the rest wait on the shelf. And when the middle gets hard, add novelty inside the skill and make your progress visible. And don't forget to give yourself that small window of free exploration sometimes. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too much. You're just born to be the black sheep, the person who dared the system and create something real and unique. And you become someone couldn't be replaced by anyone or replaced by AI. You became someone special that knows exactly when to go deep down as a submarine and when to go fast exploring the world like a ship. But you just didn't have the blueprint yet, and now you have it. Just go for it. The most successful people in the world, most of them are the black sheep who dare the whole system, who create something unique no one did. It's going to be a long journey, because if it was easy, anyone can do it. So that's why they call the 1%. If you know someone special who needs to hear this, share the video with him and let me know in the comment what's your group 1, the one interest that you are going to focus on first.